if you look at, there's kind of like, you can do some different ways of finishing a heel hook, right? And there's some fancy ways people, I think some people get way too complicated with it, and some people perhaps not complicated enough, but you get some people like talking about like closing the knee and like turning the, rotating the knee inwards while they pull the heel the other way. If you just focus on getting a good strong bridge, that's going to be like bridge into the side of the knee, you're going to get a good finish, okay? To get a strong bridge, the strongest bridge is by far when you flare your knees out, okay? So if I keep my knees pinched, it's actually like inhibits my glutes. They're the strongest bridge muscles we've got. We're using adduction here. We're pinching our knees together. Our glutes are abductors. They go the other way. So when you do this, you take away power from your bridge, okay? If you try and, you can even test this yourself. If you put your knees together like this, just pinch your knees together and lift your hips, it'll feel weak compared to like hips coming, knees flaring out as you lift. Everyone do one. You look silly, but like I just did. But pinch your knees together compared to flaring your knees open as you bridge, right? So, like not feet open, guys. Knees like open, right? Like you can bring your hips. Okay. So when you want to get power into your finish, we're trying to bridge as heavy as we can into the knee. If you're pinching your knees together like this, or even if one's pinching, you'll take away a little bit of power. If you look at if you look at the photos of me in ADCC, I got my feet like open and I'm bridging like this. Look at some of the stills of Craig Jones finishing. He's like flaring his knees as he brings his hips in, because that's how he's getting power into that bridge. Okay, and I've seen some heel hooks recently where people didn't tap, and it was usually like one leg was kind of like this or something, and the guy's like obviously copping, some damage. You should tap, like you shouldn't cop damage at all, you should just tap, but some people seem to be willing to fight a little bit. Some crazy people will fight out of a little bit of damage. But if you start like bridging like this, they're gonna, that's a real serious threat that they're dealing with. Okay, so when you finish, flare the knees, hips side onto the knee, and bridge. Obviously we need a good tight grip on the heel as well to secure that part in, and we need not to rotate so much as just to, like there'll be rotation, but we're just locking that in, pulling tight. Okay, now I know this heel's not going anywhere. When I flare my knees and bridge, the pressure goes through the leg. Okay, now just keep in mind don't do this at the start. Like if I do this before everything's set up, he starts kicking. There's too much room. I make a lot of room when I flare my knees. Okay, so it's kind of like everything's in position. Okay, I want to finish. I start opening my knees out and I'm bridging with my hips like that. Okay, I don't start like this where he's going to start kicking himself free. All right, 2 more minutes each. Just 2 more minutes. Just work a little bit of that finish, and then we're